Hello, everyone. My name is Vadrin, and I'm a senior analyst for BeInCrypto. And today with me, as always, there is Konstantin, who is a global trader. So today we're going to talk about the October-November trends in crypto and a little bit about, so basically what cryptocurrencies we think will go up, what do you think will go down, whether a bottom will be reached in some coins, and possibly in the end discuss some of the more let's say, fundamental factors of why these things we believe will happen. So yeah, I'll pass it to Konstantin.
Yeah, hey guys. So I will share some charts right now, and then we will take it from there. So while we are speaking, the market is dumping, and I think we will continue to see that in the future. So let me share the screen real quick. So right now should work. Yeah, perfect. All right, so basically what happened in the market is that we continue to fall. So I will start with Bitcoin, obviously, because this is still a crypto live stream. So let me start with Bitcoin. So you see, even when I prepared the chart, the price wasn't exactly where it is right now, but we are leaving the yearly low support right now. So what I see for Bitcoin is that once we leave the 17,600 range, where we still find some support for now, we will probably go to 14K. So this has been in the room for a long time now. But the market is just extremely bearish. I still had the hope of a bottom formation because we didn't have too much bearish momentum. We were in a clear downtrend, but still trended sideways, and like the volatility tried up. But in a scenario like that, when the volatility tries up, you still have to consider the trend, and the trend is clearly bearish. So a bearish outbreak is very likely at this point. And what I could see for Bitcoin is that it goes to roughly $14,000 and bounces there, because we have a high chance of a bullish divergence in the RSI, comparing the yearly low to a potential new low. I think we could potentially create a bullish divergence and bounce towards 1800 something. But even then, I think we could still continue the downtrend. It's, for me, impossible to say that 14K is the bottom. It could be, but we could still bounce and continue the downtrend after that. So that's basically for Bitcoin. And I mean, we have one little bullish hope left in a monthly chart, because the histogram of the MACD is ticking bullishly higher, but there are still like almost 20 days until the monthly candle closes. So this can turn out bearish as well, like it did it in the past 2 months, when it ticked bullishly higher and then closed bearishly. So this could repeat itself, and then the downtrend continues. But if we see a bullish monthly close in the histogram, I lean towards a bottom formation, simply because in the past 3 bear markets, it has been a strong indicator for the reversal of the bear trend. So once we have that, I'm leaning bullish. I mean, typically you go one wave down before the bottom is formed. So this is like the last sellout. I could imagine that we have this last sellout right now. But if we don't have that last sellout right now, I think we could trend lower for the next 2 years. I mean, we had that situation that the market in general is in a recession, and that's like a potential scenario for the next few years. Because if we look at the stock market, the stock market is, just as Bitcoin, extremely bearish, with no signs of a bullish trend reversal. And I mean, the SP 500 could actually break the 50-month EMA support, where it bounced multiple years. And only in 2020, when the COVID crash happened, we dropped below it and quickly recovered. And now we're we're there again, and we are not bouncing yet. So we could potentially see a bounce at the 3,230 range, something like that, for the SP 500. But other than that, the trend looks extremely bearish, and the same for silver. Silver is very bearish in my opinion. Gold is also at the 50-month EMA, could potentially break it since it's not bouncing there. It could also drop significantly lower. So the whole outlook on the market is very bearish. Like, even if we consider euro versus dollar, I mean, this has a lot to do with monetary policies. But what you can see right here is that shorting the 50-day EMA has been very profitable for multiple times. In that scenario, it's like 6 times. So euro versus dollar looks also extremely bearish. In my opinion, the US dollar could continue to rise as the Federal Reserve continues to increase rates higher than any other central bank. So I think the US dollar could be potentially much stronger in the future. So I'm not that pessimistic about my USD dollar holdings. So that's like for somebody living in Europe where euro is crashing tremendously, that's actually a good thing to hodl a lot of US dollar token, but still purchasing power drops in all of those currencies. So yeah, the market is in a strong downtrend, and I don't really see how we can dodge the recession, since we have this electricity crisis, and then we have increasing rates. So I don't really see any way around a recession for the market. And yeah, one more thing to add to that, coins like Solana dropped below the $30 mark for the first time in 17 weeks. Because we could close above it multiple times, every time since we dropped to the yearly low. So I think coins like Solana look also extremely bearish. We could potentially go to the $20 range, dropping first to the 26 yearly low. And if that breaks, we could go to 18 or 20, something like that, because there is no real support there. You can see the wicks there. So something between that wick and those wicks could be a potential support range. But it's really dangerous, since the possibility of a break of that support, and then Solana could drop to $5, and you all know what that means. Like, if a coin like Solana drops to $5, crypto is probably tanking extremely hard. And that's the last chart I will present right here, is the total crypto market capitalization, and that looks also very bearish to me. I mean, we're still at that support right now. You can see we closed multiple weeks above that price range of 845. But yeah, we probably break out bearishly and go to the yearly low of approximately $766. And if we break that range, we could potentially go to the 535 range. So that's the possibility that I see here. And yeah, I mean, like, I don't really know how to trade a recession, since I've never been in that situation, but it's probably just like a bull market. You will short instead of long. So that's probably the big difference. And you can also look out for coins that correlate negatively with the market. So, for example, what I found is that uranium is actually surging tremendously since the pandemic started. So when we look at the trend, we can actually see that since COVID entered the West, basically since March, we have a strong uptrend for uranium, and we even doubled the price. So that's my mission for the next few months to years, to find commodities or anything that is tradable, that is heavily either negatively correlated to the market, or there is no correlation at all. because I think the future for stocks in the next couple of months doesn't look good to me right now, and I don't know how you can dodge the recession. So I'm really curious if Wartren sees another possibility here. So I will pass it to you now.
Thanks, Konstantin, for that very extensive analysis. Let me just share my screen. I'm also bearish, but I'm still holding hope, not necessarily hope, but like my previous scenario for Bitcoin is not invalidated yet. So I'm still going with it, but I'm extremely bearish in most of the alts. Let's just see, because my screen isn't sharing yet, I think, right? Okay,
Yeah, no,
perfect. Yeah. Okay, so like I'm still tracking this wedge on Bitcoin and this potential bullish divergence in the daily RSI. So to me, the most bullish scenario would be another drop here. And I mean, it's weird calling this bullish because it's still a new yearly low, but like more consolidation in the wedge and then eventual breakout and gradual recovery. So besides this RSI trend, which is still in place, so another drop would also take the price to the RSI. What also causes me to believe in this scenario are two things. So first, there is this growing bullish divergence in the weekly RSI. Even though like it's weird to count it like this, because I mean it can possibly get invalidated, and we like don't know that yet if it continues to fall. But the second is the wave count, because like if Bitcoin were to drop to like 12, 13, 14, 10K or something, then to me this would be the normal count. And the reason why I don't like it as much, I mean, it's still valid, but I don't like it, is that it would have to be something like this. So basically like a 1, 2 here. Okay, so I'll just hide this. And then another 1, 2 here. So something like this. I'll just change the colors so it's less convoluted. So basically we would have to like fall within the next 2 to 3 days. If to me this like fall happens, because yeah, in that case it would mean that we're like in the sharpest portion of the decrease. So basically the wedge would be invalidated, and we would like be like a very sharp fall here, some consolidation, another sharp fall, more consolidation, and then final capitulation. But just because of the fact that it's, I know, moving, I mean, it's still decreasing somewhat slowly to me. Like, I mean, even today, this is probably not probably, but this is the biggest, I guess, bearish candlestick, and it's like 3%. So just that makes me think that Bitcoin, I mean, it's still gonna reach a new yearly low, but maybe not as low as like 14 and lower. But yeah, the macro is terrible. Inflation looks bad. Everything like stocks. So this is just, I'm just basically focusing on just one portion of TA, which would be elite waves. But considering I've had this scenario for a while and it has not been invalidated, I'm still going with it. But as for other coins, they look like absurdly bearish. So I think we did the Ethereum killers 2 weeks ago, and one of them was ADA. So basically, ADA has broken from this triangle, and I think Konstantin said the same for Solana. So like basically that's the final support area, and then if this breaks, like maybe 15 or 10 or something, then you have other coins like BOT, which I mean basically there's no support, to be honest here. Like it seems to have broken down from this support here. So just DA wise, this could go to a new all-time low. Like, I mean, it seems weird since dot was at like 50 less than a year ago, but the A buys this looks absolutely terrible. And honestly, lots of altcoins kind of look this way. We have audio, which is like dead. I know he Constantine mentioned Soul, so I'm not gonna go with that again, but just a ton of coins basically. The only one which is still holding on, no, that's a really weird chart, is still holding on somewhat is Ethereum, like always. Because, I mean, so yeah, we don't have a. If honestly, like it broke down here, like I really love trading channels and they usually look, they're usually corrective patterns. So we have a down channel, I'd expect a breakout, numerous touches. So if this manages to close like this, so basically really long lower wick, hold on above the support, and somehow move upwards, and yeah, I think this goes places. And another coin, I mean, I think we tracked Matic, Matic last time. So yeah, similar, somewhat channel, but still has room to fall. So yeah, it's either like, in my opinion, about 4 or 5 coins, mostly the big ones like Ethereum, Bitcoin, and the big gainers like QNT and Matic, which are kind of holding on, but lots of like smaller, lesser known coins, like they genuinely look like they want to drop to all time lows. Sorry, like I'll just go through a few in my watch list. So like if Alpha breaks this one, there is no support. Path has kind of broken down and there's no support. Like I know COTI or Dash is like dying towards a new all-time low. Even slightly bigger coins like XRP, actually it's holding on relatively well. But yeah, so basically I'm still holding on this possible Bitcoin wedge formation, which would lead to a slightly lower yearly low and then an eventual breakout. But if that doesn't fall, I'd be like full bearish on Bitcoin towards like 14K and lower. So if you break down from the wedge, and to be honest, whatever happens with Bitcoin, I'm pretty bearish on several altcoins, but Ethereum seems to be managing well. So this can also kind of be seen by looking at the Bitcoin dominance rate. So we have this sort of, I don't know, triangle formation here, which usually breaks to the upside. So yeah, like an upward movement in the Bitcoin dominance rate doesn't necessarily have to mean that the Bitcoin price will go up. So it can mean that the Bitcoin price will go down, but altcoins will decrease at a much faster rate than Bitcoin, which I kind of think is going to happen. So yeah, I'm also pretty bearish on the market, but I still think that Bitcoin could salvage something by dropping to like 16, 17-ish and then gradually breaking out. But again, like this could be invalidated with like a sharp fall from the wedge, which I mean obviously hasn't occurred yet. So yeah, like I'm really watching out for this potential scenario here.
Yeah, I mean, like Bitcoin emerged from a crisis, right? From a financial crisis. And we've never seen Bitcoin performing in a recession. That's why I'm leaning bearish because we don't really know what's happening with the market in general. And Bitcoin, gold, and silver is failing its role as a store of value during that recession. But that could be because the recession just started. Maybe market is just too uncertain right now. But for me, it's hard to understand how we can not end up in a recession. I don't know how that would be possible with the current setup. So inflation rates were, I mean, the interest rates were negative. They were extremely low. So there's a lot of room to grow for that. And yeah, with continuing rise, with continuing rates, the market will definitely slow down. So I'm really curious how that will play out, how long it will take until the market recovers, and how hard it will be, because more than monetary policies are like the impact of the energy crisis is even higher, and that's something that is tremendously political. And I have no idea how long that could take until we get like proper energy prices back. And then we also have that renewable energy agenda, let's call it like that. So yeah, it's a tough spot to be in, I think. And I don't know how what else to add to that.
Yeah, so yeah, I agree. The macro looks terrible. I'm just gonna and look at the S&P chart here for a while, for a little bit, because I sorry, haven't checked it in a while. Okay, so I'll go on the futures chart. I think my screen is blinking. I have no idea why.
Yeah, I'm not seeing your
Yeah,
screen yet.
okay. Yeah, yes. I mean, yeah, obviously we have this sharp fall again, new yearly low. We do have this potential bullish divergence, which has not been validated yet, but yeah, besides that, there are no other bullish signs. It's it kind of has broken down from the support here. So yeah, what I actually noticed today about the S&P is that so far, especially over the last few weeks, it has had a perfect correlation with Bitcoin. So yeah, basically values close to one. So the one line here, the black line, means that there is a perfect correlation. So meaning that a move, an upward move in the S&P 500 is the cause for the same reaction in Bitcoin. Zero means that they're not correlated, while negative one would mean that they're negatively correlated. So let's say a 10% upward move in the S&P 500 will cause a negative 10% downward move in Bitcoin. So yeah, I mean, basically to me, even though like there's like a potential bullish scenario for Bitcoin, yeah, the macro has to improve. I mean, the general stock market especially has to improve, or Bitcoin has to somehow decouple. But like Konstantin said, like we haven't really seen Bitcoin perform in a recession yet, even though it was actually born from a recession. So yeah, you know, these are pretty interesting times. But still, like just I know, just from a risk to reward perspective, like I kind of favor buying Bitcoin here because even if it like goes down to 14K, it's not a massive decrease from here. But in even like an upward move to like 25, so basically an upward move to 25 is a bigger increase and a drop to 14. So I don't know, like I'm still waiting and seeing, obviously hoping that like the general situation improves and trying to take a short on a few alts. But with Bitcoin, I'm like cautiously hoping for a bottom while at the same time shorting several altcoins, mostly ADA and DOT, and like these Ethereum killers which we discussed last week. So basically, even if I'm underwater in my Bitcoin holdings, they kind of make up for it, and I can just like rather hold Bitcoin in spot. But yeah, yeah. So those are like my main thoughts on the market right now.
Yeah, I totally agree with your conclusion that Bitcoin has to decouple from the S&P 500. Um, and that's the weird scenario we are in right now because gold, Bitcoin, S&P, all of them are dumping. So there's no safe haven right now. I think all the money is flowing in the US dollar right now. So yeah, definitely interesting times. I also agree that Bitcoin could definitely bounce from here and maybe yeah in the next few weeks. But trend wise, I don't see a bullish trend reversal. So even if we bounce, I think we could still continue um, to fall lower. And yeah, we have to see how strong we can bounce. And but even with all of that, I still lean bullish if the histogram of the MACD is closing bullishly this month. So I'm really excited to see that. If that happens, I'm bullish regardless of everything, and we'll go all in Bitcoin. And maybe we see a decoupling then. I mean, Bitcoin did a lot of crazy stuff in the past, so yeah, you should never try to predict Bitcoin's behavior other than technical analysis, because everything could happen here, I think. No, I don't see any comments from the community, but I think what would be really helpful to me personally also would be if you as the community could contribute your ideas to, if you're interested in finding non-correlating assets, if you're interested in finding coins that might perform, or assets, better say assets or commodities that might perform brilliantly in a recession, then please let us know. Yeah, because apart from that, I think the only possibility to trade this market is to keep shorting and long the bounces. More opportunities. I don't really see any other opportunity.
Yes, I don't think we have any questions, right?
No, I don't see any questions.
Uh, okay, so I guess that was it for today. And I'll see you guys in next week's session, and I hope everyone will join. So bye everyone, and have a nice day.
Thank you very much, guys. Bye bye.